Welcome everyone, it's Ryan with Inglewood Instruments. Today we're going to talk about capos and how to use them. Today I'm using my Cumberland River Dulcimer, but you can use whatever you've got, and I may even switch out to a Merlin. There's a lot of ground to cover, however, I think I can do it pretty quickly because this is, again, just a bit of a how-to on using a capo, okay? Before we go too far, I do want to point out down in the description there's going to be some stuff that you can go check out on the website, a lot of resources, some of them free that people are really finding helpful. Go do that. But also, hang out to the end of the video. I'll give you a couple practice tips, some ideas on how to use them that you'll be able to put into practice right away. Onward to capos. First things first, what is a capo? It is one of these little funky things. Looks like this, and they are used to clamp down the strings all the way across and make sure that all the strings are pressed down completely at that spot, wherever you put it on the neck. Now, over the years, I've seen all kinds of different capos. I've tried a few of them. I found a few that I like and some that I don't really care for. Whatever works for you is great, but I will recommend to you one or two that I like. So this is the kind I don't like. There's this kind here people have seen for years. It's convenient. People have it a lot because it's convenient. You can take it, you can go put it right on, boom, like that. Although on this instrument, the neck is a little fatter. This is designed for a guitar. The problem with this one, the reason I don't like it, is that it's a strong spring, never going to have a different tension, and it's just going to crush the strings. Puts so much pressure on them, which means it takes them completely out of tune. We don't want that. The capo should act like your finger and, therefore not crush the strings. The second kind that I've got today is called a Shubb. It's by the company Shubb. And you can see that this one's a little different because it's got this sort of adjustable thing here. And then you clamp it on, and this is the fulcrum that keeps the pressure. And it looks like this once it's on. You loop it over the top, and then on the back, you push down and get the pressure. Boom, like that. The reason I like this one is that it does have that adjustable tension on it, and then quick detach to get it off. That's sort of the benefit that people like with this one, is you can grab it, put it on, pull it right off, move it up and down the neck without problem. Then there is this kind, very similar to that one I just showed you. These are different companies make them. We have some from the Dario, and this one is fancy in that it is also tension adjustable. Go on like this here, like they all do, but on the back, then you have to tighten it up. It's one of my favorites because you can adjust the tension as you go. And the key for having a capo that works well for you is the adjustability and the pressure, the more the pressure of that adjustability, because by tightening this down, I'm applying more pressure to the strings. If you haven't seen it yet, I made a video for how to properly fret a note on the neck. It turns out that putting too much pressure on actually detunes, or like out of tunes, warbles it, gets it all bad, don't want to do it. Too much pressure actually pulls the string over the fret. That is actually a component of the course that we made. It is part of the full 101 series that we made, a lesson course over on the website, but we made that video in particular free because I know it's something that challenges a lot of folks, and maybe even you didn't realize it was a problem. And then the other kind of capo that I have, we only have a couple of these. I was just testing them out, so if you want one, go over to the site, give it a go. This one is also kind of fancy looking. It's got this crazy spring thing happening. So it's a little bit like that first kind, except that here you've got this adjustability. You can adjust the tension that you're going to have in the first place. So when you put it on, you've theoretically pre-adjusted it, so it's not as crushy as the other one. I don't necessarily like this as much just because it can go off and on, but it is more flexible in a lot of ways. Again, a capo is about getting the right pressure and how fast you want to get it off and on. I personally am going to go with slightly slower if it gives me the right pressure. So now that I've got it on here, got to make sure that it's stable all the way across. You do want to get it as close to the fret as possible. Again, if you haven't gone to watch that how to fret video, do that. And then what I would recommend, and you'll see some artists do this if you're watching a performance somewhere, is I would tune it. I got a nice little tuner here, and I'm sure you do too. Once you've got it on there, tune the notes to be whatever the note should be at that particular fret. It is inevitable that a capo will almost definitely put the strings out of tune a little bit. It's just that these big ones here, they're going to crunch it totally out of tune. So you're going to have more work to retune to get where you want to be. Again, I really appreciate these kind that have the ability to adjust the tension. I think I've said that enough. Adjustability and the pressure, getting the right pressure, that adjustable tension on it, if it gives me the right pressure. And it's just gonna crush the strings. Right. But I just wanted to make sure we said it one more time. One last thing that I will say that I have not seen, so I'm contradicting myself here, is that there's this fun little capo, has like a missing tooth in it kind of thing. They make a bunch of these out there. This is the only one I've ever purchased myself, but I got it years ago. There's gotta be something out there, or you can modify one. Maybe you could take one like this here and then chop off some of the, I guess, teeth, make it have gaps in the teeth, so that when you put it on here, you've got actually an open string. That's what this is designed for. You've got an open string where that little hole is, and then the other strings get fretted, get clamped down. So that gives you yet another sort of exploration thing. So like I said at the beginning, quick practice tip, idea is just get the capo on and then get it in tune and then just start to play, start to experiment. So suddenly everything you've been used to using on the instrument, all your knowledge, all your where to play is sort of out of calibration for where you would expect. What it will do, fingers know what to do, but what your brain and what the notes sound like is going to be different because you're shifting sort of that tonal center of the dulcimer. This is different than how it works on a guitar and then a mandolin and all those, right? Like a guitar, you're shifting the key, but you're not changing the relationship of the notes. That might be nerdy, trust me on it. You're not changing the relationship. Go ahead and get the capo on there, give it a shot, see what you think. So I swapped out for my Merlin, put it on the 2nd fret here. I have tuned it to itself. It's a little sharp from where it would have been if it was just open. That's kind of what I would expect with putting pressure on there. I found I had to put a little bit more pressure than I wanted just to get those top strings to ring through. So I find myself having to do a little bit more tuning, but still a lot less than if I was using that big springy one. And so again, here, suddenly putting my finger in these same fret areas that I would have normally done down here, the relationship of the notes is totally different. So I can get a totally different kind of headspace, different creativity suddenly coming in. And see your harmonic even there, the octave has moved. It's up here somewhere. Everything's shifted around. All right, I'm gonna make another video that's a little bit more about how to do all that, what thing about some exercises, practice tips for having the capo on there. I feel like that definitely merits its own separate lesson. But in the meantime, if you found this to be super helpful, I would love for you to do the usual like subscribe thing and also comment. What I'd love to know is, do you have a preference for capos? Have you found one that you think works really great for these instruments or one that you just love, you've always gone back to? And do you find that applying less pressure with your fingers or with the capo is helpful in keeping things in tune, keeping your brain from like going crazy, etc. Okay? And again, lots of stuff over on the website to check out. And as always, happy playing. I'm Ryan, out.